everybody. Dr. Ryan Dunlop here with part 2 of our Full Arch Masters podcast. We're here live in Fresno, California at the completion of our first kickoff course of 2024. I'm very excited. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes talking with my 3 wonderful colleagues here. Just for us, give us a little introduction about who you are and where you're from and kind of what brought you to this course.
Yeah, my name is Josh Lang. I'm in Southern California, in Temecula and Carlsbad, San Diego area. And I've been following you for a long time and been wanting to move to digital flow and really like what I've seen on the Facebook groups and stuff. So I'm happy to be here now.
Awesome. Doc.
Hi, my name's Dr. Danny Sherry. We came from Los Angeles, West Hollywood area, Beverly Hills, and we came here to take the full arch FAMP class. It's been very good.
Awesome. Doc, who are you and where are you from?
I'm Avinash Cherian. We're from Long Island, New York, and coming here to learn more about the digital workflow. Trying to do it the old-fashioned way. It was trying to get better, and you're at the forefront of it. So.
Awesome. Well, I'll stay with you. Given your career that you've been doing full arch cases, what are some of the hardest things that you've had to deal with doing these cases for patients?
The conversion. That's
always
just
high on people's list.
that one of the hardest things was the conversions, because the surgeries you're done, but then you don't know what you're going to get at the conversions. It's just that sometimes it goes well, and sometimes there's no consistency. That's the issue. And I was looking for something more consistent and something reliable I could trust. Not having to keep grinding how much for 15 minutes, for half an hour, or maybe more.
Maybe more. Yeah. Okay, so consistency in your immediate load prosthetics, super high on people's lists. Dr. Sherry?
We took the class to kind of give the patients a better level of care. I think there's a lot of doctors out there that are advertising full arches, but to really provide the service and the knowledge, you have to take a class, and it makes sense to take a good class like this. It gave us the confidence and the skill level to go back to work and treat these patients properly and with good outcome.
Awesome. What about you, Doc?
Yeah, same like conversions. It's a nightmare. I hate doing it, and the analog impressions are really tough. I started moving towards going fully guided and having the temps and everything made, but if something happens, then
everything's over the window.
Yeah, it's all gone. And apart from that, fully guided is a lot more expensive. It's really hard to get patients to appreciate that and move, pay the higher fees, and getting all the guides on. It's a big box with a bunch of stuff and components, and getting assistants trained with that. It's easy to lose parts, and again, if you have to switch something, then you're screwed. So. This is just like a night and day difference. Right.
Well, you guys got exposed to a big variety of technology this week. I try to make it as inclusive as possible and not try to pigeonhole you guys into one methodology or one series of equipment. How important is that as part of the course, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's been really beneficial. For one, just to have an idea of having my assistants come, for one, was really good, so they can see the difference between some of the technologies and get their input, since they're going to be using some of that. Seeing some of the benefits and obstacles with each one and seeing how that would work, I found that really beneficial. Yeah.
Cool. What about you?
Yeah, I thought this was really a good master's class in a higher level, and being exposed to all the different ways you could treat the patient and give them a good digital experience and a nice result that really performed well, consistent.
Mm-hmm. All the methodologies are predictable, but they're all different in their own way. And what suits one clinic doesn't always suit the next.
That's for sure. It's nice to have a lot of hands-on experience on different modalities and still come up with the different results and really provide that extra care.
Right. What about you, Doc?
Yeah, that's what I felt, having multiple options. There's just not one way to do it. But the end result is a high quality product, and that's what the goal is.
Right, right.
You know, one size doesn't fit all, and but you know, the processing from start to finish, which went flawlessly, and the patients are getting a great product. That's really something. Also, you know, if you're going by the manufacturers, they just sell you whatever it is,
Right.
you know. But to actually see what it is in the patient's mouth makes a big difference. How it flows, and you see the result in the patient's mouth.
Right.
It's not what they're touting it to be.
In real time too.
What is real time? Yeah.
Right. So I wanted to ask you three about, you guys have these nice new members only fam jackets on. It's a fun thing. What do you think about the community that we're building? I always felt like I was out there kind of by myself, making mistakes, not knowing who to turn to. What do you think about the community that we've built in terms of the support for your clinics, going back from our lab, from me, from my team, and then knowing that you're part of this kind of like nationwide movement to do things at a higher quality level for our patients? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I think as dentists, a lot of times it can be really isolating.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, you feel like, there's stuff that happens that knowing that there's doctors who go through the same things and to be able to problem solve and maybe have a different take on something and get advice, that's going to be huge. I think just working with your lab too and seeing how helpful they were, and being willing to work with teams and assistants, and with our own local labs, being able to help them so we can keep it, eventually keep things in office. I mean, I think that's great because a lot of people just want to keep the work and the business for themselves, without helping your team grow. So that's been really helpful.
Awesome.
Well, I think when you take a lot of classes, you take the class and then you go home and you try to do it all.
Right.
I think when you take a class like this, you have the ability to have a lot of support afterwards with not just the person you took the class from, but all the other doctors that may have questions afterwards or run into a problem here and there, to create a sounding board for everybody together to kind of answer questions or figure out solutions and improve things even more is very, very helpful. It's unique, I think, in the full arch master's class.
Right.
Well, some of us are experts and some of us are starting off. We're all in a journey. Along that journey, sometimes there are going to be surprises along the way, and nobody gets to the master level without first being a beginner. And that's and that process, I feel, to almost have like a guide along the way is very helpful. I think it's very beneficial. And there's like 1,000 things that could go wrong or right.
Right.
And if you need help, it's good to have that support.
To quote my friend Paul Figario, shout out to you, Paul. He said he always quotes, "To succeed, you must first suck." If you look at the word "succeed," the beginning of that is to suck. So we all start at a beginner level, and I've always enjoyed helping others not make the mistakes that I made, and I feel as though I've made every mistake that can possibly be made. But I surprise myself regularly. I find a new way to make a mistake. So I don't think it ever really stops. You just find new ways to make mistakes. And I wanted to create a supportive and collaborative community of like-minded doctors who want to grow their own careers and help more people, but also feed back to the system. And I think that there's so many more people that we can help if we work together rather than apart. So that was always my philosophy. Speaking of working together, I think all of you came with some of your team members, right? So how important is it to bring some of your team to this course so they can help you implement that?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have brought more, honestly. But it's been huge. Being able to have them do the hands-on, see the flow, and see it multiple times is so much easier than me going back to the office and trying to unload. I'd have to take a whole week off anyways, just
to implement it.
Yeah, just to implement it. So it's been really good.
Great. I'm assuming they had a good time.
So for us, it was great because it was a very comprehensive class. It taught my front staff the marketing skills that she needs to teach them how to prepare the patient for it.
Right.
They also learned the back steps so that they had a full sense of what it takes to get a case going.
Right.
from
Orchestrate it,
organize it from start to finish. And like Dr. Lang said, it really allows them to implement it better, and they leave excited. They leave that they're motivated and they want to get these things going.
Right.
So I think that's been a good plus for us.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad
came
I
with a
brought
couple
the
of team
assistants.
members,
Yeah, I brought a couple of assistants, and I wanted to bring my manager too, but hopefully she'll be able to make it on a separate time.
Right.
The thing is that, sometimes when you're building this plan in your mind, you have this vision, but by the time you express and explain this vision to somebody else and they get it,
Right.
it not necessarily is a quick process. They're thinking all these different things, but
Right.
coming in here and, taking a look at it, being hands-on, seeing everybody and seeing the vision so clearly. This is where we are, this is where we want to go, and this is how to go about it.
Right.
It's just a pathway, it's so clear.
And we kind of set up the ideal structure for you to emulate and change as necessary. Right. So I'm always curious, people come into Full Arch Masters and they get to see and play with all this great technology and see how the roles are. What's like the first thing or two that you need to do, or equipment you need to get, or something you're going to do right when you get back? What's on the top of your list?
Yeah, 3D printer has been, that's
the top of the list.
We pulled the trigger on that. So, that's something I knew I needed to get, but
Right.
especially after coming to the course, we really can't.
Crystal clear.
Yeah, it's for sure.
You can't do anything unless you're able to manufacture those in-house.
Right.
Okay, so 3D printer. What about you, Don?
It gave us a lot of different modalities to decide what we really needed
Okay.
and where we are. So a 3D printer is definitely on the shopping list, but there was just so many other things that we needed to kind of get it all together and gave us a start as whether it's a stepping stone or you want to go full blown.
Okay. Well, that's a goal for most of my alumni docs, is to have as much of the manufacturing process done in-house. It really takes control of the process, but it is a process and it takes a while to get there. What's on your shopping list, Don?
Well, just whatever it takes to finish that, no matter where we are in the path, right? To finish that flow. The goal is to get that workflow so that's in office. So yeah, that's really. I just got the 3D printer even before coming here. But,
that's right.
But there's a whole bunch of other things I don't have. You got to tweak it here or there until we get it. Whatever needs to be smoothened out, you've given us the tools to get there.
I think you told me earlier in the week that you're starting a practice, right?
Yeah.
So you're starting from scratch. Well, you have a previous, but this new practice is going to be geared towards full arch and implant dentistry.
I'm hoping to.
Yeah, and so that's an interesting perspective. Most docs come and they're trying to transition from one to the other, but you're starting blazing forward.
I'm transitioning too, actually.
I agree.
Because I bought an existing practice. So,
Right. Okay.
But yeah, in that process.
Awesome. Again, I want to express my gratitude to you guys. You taking time out of your busy schedules and family life and professional life to come and spend a week with us here. I hope you enjoyed your time here. We appreciate you guys from the bottom of our hearts for taking that leap of faith, and I hope we met or exceeded your expectations. It's I know you've been waiting to take this course for a long time, so sometimes anticipation builds. I hope we met the expectation or exceeded it. But seriously, I always say your success is our success, because we do want to educate and empower our doctors to do as much and control as much of this full arch process. I have seen a trend in the industry in the last few years that full arch is being taken away from us. It's being taken by labs and marketing companies, implant companies. They're trying to take away the control process from the doctors, so that the doctors are really just putting the smile in. Mm-hmm. They're not involved in the planning. They're not involved in a lot of it. And so I think that's a bad step. I think that doctors should control the planning and the outcomes and the manufacturing for all of this. So that's kind of my main objective through all this, is to give you guys the tools, give you guys the education and the power to control as much of this process as you feel comfortable. Some people will want to control every aspect and some will just want to control some, but every doctor should have a hand in all of this and not just take that smile in a box idea and just, okay, I'll just assume that this is going to work, right?
Yeah.
So, again, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming out and spending time with us.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank you for joining us for part 2 of our Full Arch Masters podcast today. I'm Dr. Ryan Dunlop, and we are here in Fresno, California, January 2024, kicking off our year flagship courses, advanced surgery courses, laboratory courses, and everything in between. So if you're interested in attending a class, I highly recommend you check out our website, fullarchmasters.com. You can follow us on all the socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it, we got it. So anyway, have a great day. Enjoy your time, and we'll see you soon.